Does this man truly love me? How do I know he loves me? What would he exhibit for me to know he loves me? What's he doing? Is it a sign that he loves me? We're often worried and desire to know whether what a person feels for us is love. We want to know what God would make a person that loves us would do for us. We want assurance, and there are things we're looking out to him to do, to show he loves us. We believe by seeing those signs through what God is making him do for us, he loves us. A man wants you. Certain things are common that he would do, which God is making him do them for you. When you have gained a place in the heart of a man and he wants you, these things would happen because favor has been found. When you don't see these things being done, it's either God doesn't want him for you and he would not allow him to do those things for you, or what you think or imagine he feels for you is not love as such, but probably likeness and should be an acquaintance. You shouldn't misplace priorities or ignore the things God is supposed to make him do. Sometimes we're so eager to accept someone who loves us without seeing genuine signs. We must be careful henceforth. Certain things we should look out for very carefully to know he loves us, and it is God making him do these things, and certain behavior or signs should be a pointer that it's not right. It is not from God. In 2 Samuel 13, the story of Amnon and Tamar should teach us greatly and make us know what are the right signs. 2 Samuel 13, 1-2, 4, 9, and 14-15. It happened afterwards that Absalom, the son of David, had a beautiful sister whose name was Tamar, and Amnon, her half-brother, the son of David, was in love with her. Amnon was so frustrated because of his half-sister Tamar that he made himself sick, for she was a virgin, and Amnon thought it was impossible for him to do anything to her. He said to Amnon, "Why are you, the king's son, so depressed morning after morning? Will you not tell me?" And Amnon said to him, "I am in love with Tamar, my half-brother Absalom's sister." She took the pan and dished them out before him, but he refused to eat. And Amnon said, "Have everyone leave me." So everyone left him except Tamar, but he would not listen to her, and since he was stronger than she, he violated her and lay with her. Then Amnon became extremely hateful towards her, for his hatred towards her was greater than the love which he had for her. And Amnon said to her, "Get up and get out." Clearly, when he wants you, your thought would not make him weak, depressed, or frustrated, but strong, and he would not want to harm you, but treat you as you deserve. In Proverbs 31:10, an excellent woman, one who is spiritual, capable, intelligent, and virtuous, who is he who can find her? Her value is more precious than jewels, and her worth is far above rubies or pearls. An excellent woman would receive a befitting treatment because she has spent time building capacity. She has spent time developing and learning skills. She has spent time gaining stature spiritually. She has developed herself and is capable to handle tasks and matters. She has gained understanding and is intelligent, and she is virtuous, who has skills to bring wealth and manage her home. Her value is high because of all she has taken her time to do on herself. The man would have no option to do the right things if he truly loves her. Let us now consider those things a man God would make him do for you if he wants you. 1. He wants you to be part of his life. This is very important. He would want to make you part of him. A woman is meant to be a helpmate. If you're the one and he loves you, he would so much want to be united with you. Let us look at some examples from Scripture. When Isaac saw Rebekah, he loved her, and God made him to quickly take her in, and she replaced his mother who was dead and comforted him. In Ruth 3:10-13. Then he said, "May you be blessed by the Lord, my daughter. You have made your last kindness better than the first, for you have not gone after young men, whether poor or rich. Now, my daughter, do not be afraid. I will do for you whatever you ask, since all my people in the city know that you're a woman of excellence. It is true that I'm your close relative and redeemer. However, there is a relative closer to you than I. Spend the night here, and in the morning, if he will redeem you, fine, let him do it. But if he does not wish to redeem you, then, as the Lord lives, I will redeem you. Lie down until the morning." Boaz has Ruth at his disposal, but we saw him doing the right thing. That's a sign he truly wants her, and God made him do the right thing. He was willing to do what is expected, that is taking Ruth in to be part of his life, and their union is instrumental to the birth of Jesus. Aside from marital relationships, in the normal course of life, when a man truly loves you, God will also make him do this. Joseph found favor before his master Potiphar. Potiphar took Joseph in and made him part of the family, making him in charge and responsible to all things. That was even what made Potiphar's wife take note of him and wanted to display her bad love for Joseph. When David appeared before King Saul, he found favor before the king. The king quickly took David in, making him part of his life. Know that God would make him do this for you. He would truly want you to be part of his life. He sees the future holding things together for you both. He sees your need and is ready to do what it takes to make you part of his life. 2. He is interested in your personal development. Another thing God would make him do if he truly wants you is that he would be interested in what you do to keep getting better. He doesn't feel threatened or angry with your progress, but would be involved to see that you improve on how you are already. A man who wants you would take the forward step. He wants you to be part of his life and future. Next is that he wants you to improve, add more skills on who you are, what you have attracted him. He wants you to keep adding value to yourself. Like we saw in Proverbs 31:10. You are an excellent woman. He wants you to keep gaining stature spiritually. He wants to see the deployment of your spiritual gifts. He wants your capabilities applied and improved upon. He wants your intelligence displayed and admired. He wants to see it used in solving problems. You are a virtuous woman. He wants to see you bring more wealth into his home. He wants you to remain the model and ideal woman everybody wants. He wants to walk to the town hall boldly because his wife is priceless and he is happy he won her. You would see the signs in him that he is interested in your personal development. Are you interested to keep studying? He would be interested to see that achieved, bringing up techniques to make it achievable and not see it as a means to know more than he does. You have a skill you love so much. He would be willing to provide a platform for that skill, to be shown to the world and make a brand of excellence. He is eager to see that your development is sustained. He is not out to make you redundant, but to see to the right deployment of your skills and its continued betterment. 3. His actions speak louder than his words. When he wants you and is right for you, God would make him love you passionately. He would care so much for you, can sacrifice for you to be happy. It was love that kept pushing Isaac to remain with his wife when she was yet to bear children and keep praying for her. It takes love to pray for someone. You cannot pray for someone you don't love. You cannot spend time bringing up the matter of another person in prayer when it seems you also have your own troubles to pray about. When he wants you, God will make him love you passionately. The few times you people meet, he shows you love. He can pray with you. He can sacrifice for you. This was also what Jacob displayed. He loved Rachel so much that he didn't see it as a big task to serve another fresh 7 years to marry her. He would love not to have been able to do that if he never loved her. He would have simply taken Leah and moved on. But it was the passionate love he had for Rachel that made him willing to do what it takes to have her. And the love he had for her didn't go down. He loved and kept praying for her when God closed her womb. He loved her till when she died, and the love was transferred to the children. This was also shown by Joseph, a sign he truly loved his brethren, and God made him do those things he did. His brothers sold him out into slavery. He never stopped thinking about them. He was longing to see them, and he wanted them to still be part of his life. When they came to Egypt, he wanted them to get the best part of Egypt that would support their work. They were shepherds. He made sure they got fertile part of the land to keep doing their business. His love was true, as we saw him praying for them, telling them he didn't feel bad for them, but his praying for them for what they did was all in God's plan for his life. This is so complete in the kind of love God has for us. He has always wanted us to be part of the big family. He has us in plan and mind to reign with him when he comes. He's interested in us being better than we are every day, and makes his grace sufficient for us to keep doing more. He loves us daily, always interceding for us. When a man wants you, God would make him want to make you part of his life, his future. He would be interested in what you do, and he would want to see those things sustained and made better. He would love you passionately. Don't spend time trying to charm him. Spend time in developing yourself in godly character. Take time to make yourself a person he would love to be part of his destiny, interested to cultivate the good in you and passionate about you and all you do. I see God bringing to your life that person who loves you, and by the doing of God, he would want to do all these things for you. Congratulations!